5 anyway. But Bank of America says the odds of a recession in the next year are greater than 30%. Goldman Sachs says the recession risk is rising because of 45's trade war. Morgan Stanley says a further ratcheting up of 45's China tariffs could lead to a global recession. A looming recession is not yet the consensus of economists, but the doom and gloom predictions are increasing as the shitty trade war becomes more pitched and the odds of a resolution before the 2020 election appear longer and longer. Washington Post columnist Robert J. Samuelson recaps many of the ways in which things appear to be headed in the wrong direction, but however likely you think it is, this inescapable fact remains. Politically speaking, the shitty trade war is a highly suspect and perhaps unnecessary wager for 45 to be doubling down on right now. 45 has taken what is almost inarguably his biggest asset in 2020, the economy, and thrown a whole bunch of uncertainty into it. And it's difficult to overstate the potential implications, but here are a few historical facts. Since the Civil War, only one president has won re-election with a recession occurring in the final 2 calendar years of his first term, William McKinley, who served from 1897 to 1901. Since then, all four presidents running for re-election who had such a recession lost. William Taft, Herbert Hoover, Jimmy Carter, and George H.W. Bush. Hopefully 45 will be in that too. Over the same span, all 10 who have sought re-election without such a recession have won, which was Woodrow Wilson, Franklin Roosevelt, which he did 3 times because he's the only president to ever serve 3 terms, Dwight D. Eisenhower, Richard M. Nixon, Ronald Reagan, Bill Clinton, George H.W. Bush, and Barack Obama. When you include all presidential elections and not just presidents seeking re-election, the party in power has lost 13 of the last 19 races in which there was such a recession. Of the last 21 races without such a recession, the Squatters' Party has won the President's Party has won 16 of them. Here are the I'll skip that part there because I'm not going to be able to read that because that's all blurred. As with all historical comparisons involving presidential elections, we're dealing with a limited data set and a whole bunch of independent variables, so we shouldn't draw too many hard-ons and fast conclusions. For example, while McKinley is the only president who was re-elected, we had a couple others who ascended to the presidency after serving as vice president, and then the next election in their own right, despite a recession, Theodore Roosevelt in 1904 and Calvin Coolidge in 1924. But it's also important to look at the context. Recessions were extremely common between the Civil occurring before all but 3 elections, but they're considerably less common now, and the pattern has become more pronounced. We only have 5 examples since the Great Depression began. For instance, and the party in power has lost all 5. Over the same span, all 9 presidents to run for re-election without a recession have won. And a recession for 45 would seem partially damaging. His approval rating already languishes in the low 40s, even with a strong economy and an unemployment rate at just 3.7%. Some polls have shown a majority of Americans approving of his job performance on the economy, and I'm one of those people that doesn't approve. But he seldom cracks 50% on any other major issue. That's because he doesn't know what the fuck he's doing. Most experts put his re-election hopes somewhere around 50-50. I'm putting myself at 75% of not re-electing him, because I didn't vote for him the first time, and I'm not voting for him this time. We're so polarized that a slight downturn in the economy might not cost him a huge amount of support, especially if he can persuade his supporters to blame the Federal Reserve, or that the shitty trade war is worth their momentary economic pain. But he simply can't afford to lose such support, period. At this point, if the economic forecasters are even in the right ballpark, it's a huge risk 45 has taken.